This is a class war. So, the people that realize that, the sooner the better. Like that's just would be helpful because that's what's happening here. Everything else is sort of like these fictional dividers.
But you put yourself under the labor umbrella. Yeah. And most people are willing to, set aside their differences. And that is the key. And is there a labor leader in this country who's willing to step up? Frankly, is there a labor leader in this country who's willing to primary Joe Biden in 2024? Because to me, that message would be so cool. The loudest. If somebody's willing to, I could imagine.
If there was somebody like a Jimmy Hoffa type person out there that like would do something like that.
I know people have been on like a Sarah Nelson to do it, but if there was like just that rough and tough, almost like John Fetterman, like down in the weeds type of hard hitting labor guy or lady for that matter, that's willing to challenge the president and really all more or less could just run on the fact that President Biden passed the most anti-labor legislation since Reagan fired the air traffic controllers 40 years ago. I mean, that would inspire a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's what I see. I mean, everybody has different thoughts on it, but my first thought is, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm 100% for it. Jimmy Dore is my first thought. I would support him. I hope he does announce. I'm not even joking. I hope he does announce. I heard rumors he was thinking about it. But the people that I talk to on the populist left, I've not talked to one person that doesn't like Jimmy Dore.
Well, you're talking to a person who knows Jimmy, and I know you guys have. I would not support him because, again, for Jimmy, it's not that he doesn't hit, and Ron has mentioned this before. It's not like Jimmy doesn't hit on the right issues, but you also have to recognize that for a lot of these guys, this is also a career. This is a job, and there are certain ways that one goes about it. You're not going to see Jimmy on the picket lines. You're not going to see Jimmy traveling out to Standing Rock and fighting with the people who are trying to stop the aggressive pipeline drilling in native lands. You're not going to see that type of thing. That's not to say that his commentary, it doesn't hit the right notes for the right people. I'm not saying that isn't the case.
What about Tulsi?
Tulsi Gabbard made her bed. She decided that her career was.
Yeah, who knows what she'll stand for a year from now.
Correct.
Tulsi Gabbard, I trust her as far as I can throw her. So
100%.
Yeah, I wouldn't support her. I would, and I used to think highly of her, but
the only person I would go.
I've had egg on my face for her. Yeah, I was wrong about her.
The one person that's out there who has been floated would be Jesse Ventura.
Yeah.
Now, Jesse, I love Jesse. I loved he was on your show a while back.
Yeah.
Come on, Ron.
No, I like Ron. Jesse. It's not a matter of liking or disliking. Yeah. It's a matter of who is somebody who could potentially, at the very, very least, grab 5% somewhere in a general. Who is that person? And, the person who has gotten closest in the past 8 years is Jill Stein. She got about 2 with the Green Party. Unless like one of the Libertarians did better, I'm not sure. But
I just think the Green Party, I know Jesse.
They're the best third party we got, though. I mean, the Greens have plenty of problems, but they're the best third party we got.
Well, if there was,
or as far as the left is concerned, I mean, Greens versus Libertarians. I don't know enough about the Libertarian Party as far as numbers go. But
as far as existing third parties, that's it. But to me, and I've said it a million times, just their name alone even is just too niche to appeal to enough people to have any sort of
It's a valid concern. Yeah, I mean that's a valid concern. I don't dispute that. So
it's almost like green hippie. And look, I was a Stein voter, so I get it. Like I'm not, I will vote for I will generally vote for as left as whatever is on the menu, and if that's a green person, that's a green person. But I think that they make some very poor choices politically and strategically, and that they just don't appeal to enough people.
To me, it's going to be tough if you're going to go through the Democratic Party. If Bernie couldn't do it in 2016, then I don't know who can.
Yeah.
With their whole setup is...
You're not going to be able to challenge Rip Van Winkle unless he steps down on his own. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's just so it's going to take an outsider in 2024, and what outsider could get close?
Yeah.
I don't really know. I mean, like that's a heavy lift for somebody to enter that race as an outsider, be it through the Democratic Party or otherwise, and then to, build enough momentum to get on the ballot, to get somehow on a debate stage at any point in time when the Democrats are going to have basically a non-existent primary. I mean, I just don't see it happening with anybody. It's just straight up not going to happen.
No, there is no.
And when you're talking about like podcasters and stuff like that, Jesse Ventura was literally in this seat before. The reason he didn't do it was because he would have had to have stopped his show, because you can't have a show. You can't have an active show and run for president. You can't do that. No. So you would need to like stop your show. And he would lose his health insurance, which, by the way, I mean, that's another way like the United States keep people down. Keep health insurance tied to a job so that people like can't leave a job for certain things, i.e. running for president. So, I mean, a lot of these like, names everyone's throwing around, I'm just like, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I think that wouldn't be anything other than a really miserable experience for the person. I mean, look, I used to work with Jimmy. We have our disagreements and I quit the show, but I still like the guy. So I wouldn't want to see him run for president because I think it'd be the worst experience of his freaking life. And if he asked my opinion, I would tell him that. I'm like, hey man, you got to do you. But I think this will be the worst experience of your life. That's what I think. And, but do what you got to do.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.